Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we'll talk with one woman who's been without her home for almost 2 years thanks to flooding. And as the WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic rolls on, we'll hear from some students who received scholarships at the award ceremony this afternoon in Prestonsburg.
Plus, rain showers continue to push into the region as we watch our next system push in as well. The very latest coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
This holiday season looks extremely different for many people across our region who were left without homes due to the flood in late July. But one woman in Breathitt County says she's not lived in her home since the flooding back in the spring of 2021. WYMT's Olivia Calfee has her story.
This holiday season makes 2 years Deborah Hansford will be spending Christmas without her home.
I will still be living at my daughter's house and having Christmas with her and family.
In March of 2021, water rose nearly 3 feet in her house. Needing major repairs, she moved in with her daughter while working with the Housing Development Alliance planning to build back. And then another flood hit.
In July, we had another flood, but that flood got to the ceiling of my house, and so therefore they couldn't build back.
Continuing to work with the HDA, they found property to rebuild her home out of the floodplain.
I'm so thankful from the very beginning, when it first started, the first hope that was there of getting a new home, to the last paint that's going to be put on.
Mindy Miller with the Housing Development Alliance says they have completed 40 muckouts since the flood, with 154 people still in the pipeline, and 28 people have reached out for new home construction.
We need as many volunteers as we can get, because when you look at the numbers of the people that need help, I think there are over 4,800 people who reported to FEMA that they needed shelter.
With Christmas a few weeks away, volunteer help has slowed down. But Miller says they will continue helping people as fast as they can for as long as it takes.
If you're a regular everyday person and you have your home for Christmas, be very grateful. And think about those folks that don't have that this time of year. You know, think of the folks who would love to be able to cook Christmas dinner in their kitchen.
And while Hansford won't be able to cook in her kitchen this year,
I already told my daughter that we'd have Christmas next year at my house.
she is looking forward to next year. In Breathitt County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
Miller says she is hopeful that volunteers will be back to help in full force during the spring, saying volunteers have already contributed more than 3,500 hours of labor since the July flooding.
Wet weather in the mountains this afternoon. It has been a soggy day for some. Others have seen very little rain, but we continue to watch the potential for those showers into the overnight. There you see the current numbers throughout the region along with our camera views, and it looks wet through many regions or many parts of the region right now. You see those temperatures are in right at 57 just about everywhere. We've seen plenty of rain. Kentucky Mesonet site, as a matter of fact, in Pulaski County has seen 1 3/4 inches of rain and 1.42 in Monticello. So our southern tier has seen the most rain so far. Temperatures remaining in the upper 50s, and we'll continue to see rain move right through that corridor, right along the Highway 80 Hal Rogers Parkway corridor through the night. Backing up, you see more showers getting ready to get going across southern Indiana and western Kentucky that will have our name on them a little bit later on tonight. Details on when we could see a return to some slightly drier weather, that's in a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The WYMT Food City Mountain Basketball Classic Scholarship Award Ceremony took place this afternoon, bringing students from around the region to celebrate education and community partnerships. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from the MAC in Prestonsburg.
We want to welcome you to the WYMT Food City Mountain Classic Scholarship Awards Reception Program.
A scholarship program all about partnerships and possibility.
For a student that needs that little extra boost to be able to go to college, you know, that could make a huge difference.
The WYMT Food City Mountain Classic Scholarship Awards invited 106 students to the Mountain Arts Center Tuesday.
It means that they really want us to succeed. It shows that they have our backs and they want us to do what we can, and they're just here to push us. campus.
Each receiving at least a $1,000 scholarship to help pave the paths to their futures.
College is not cheap. It's not at all. It doesn't matter where you go, and any amount of money helps, even if it's $500 or $10,000 and $1,000. You know, that's a lot.
Recognizing the work of the students by investing in their hopes and dreams.
Do not let what are perceived failures stop you from your goal.
Because I've spent the last 14 years of my life, ever since I started school, making school a priority, and it kind of gives you a realization like everything's paying off. So it makes you feel really good about yourself.
With scholarships that could cover as much as $5,000 for some students.
It really just helps me get out of college debt free, which is one of the main goals of any student going into college, because college debt can be very crippling later on, especially with different student loans.
Inspiring the next generation.
A celebration of our students, and I'd like to think a celebration of education in general.
Once I actually get a good footing in my own life, I hope to actually start giving back to my home community in Kentucky as well. Hopefully, possibly be a donor at one of these, possibly.
The classic Mountain Way. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Really enjoyed being over there this afternoon and recognizing so many bright students. Committee members say the event and the scholarships are only possible thanks to the sponsors and supporters of the WYMT Food City Mountain Classic. We certainly thank everyone that was involved. Yesterday, we told you about a Laurel County man accused of murdering his brother. Bailey Smith was in court yesterday for a hearing. He entered a not guilty plea. Deputies say he shot and killed Grant Smith Friday in London. Bailey Smith is scheduled to be back in court next Wednesday. Two Central Kentucky men are facing multiple charges following a police chase in southern Kentucky. Williamsburg police officers were called to Interstate 75 on Sunday night to help catch 44-year-old Benny H. Strunk and 56-year-old Herschel Slon, both of Lexington. And they led officers on a pursuit. The pursuit began in Kentucky, went across the border into Tennessee before coming back into Kentucky. One of the suspects is also accused of using the car to try and hit a police officer during the chase. Both men were arrested. At last check, Strunk was being held in the Whitley County Detention Center. A Bell County man is facing serious charges following an incident that happened last night. Deputies with the Bell County Sheriff's Department were called to a home in the Newtown Park community. When they arrived, the victim told police she was raped by 25-year-old Randall Jones of Pineville on Sunday. She also says Jones refused to let her leave and held her against her will for several hours until she was able to escape and call police. Jones was arrested and taken to the Bell County Detention Center. He's charged with rape and unlawful imprisonment and was also served with an outstanding warrant. A new police and 911 facility in Moorhead is officially open. Governor Beshear joined Rowan County officials for today's ribbon cutting. The new facility will serve the county as well as neighboring communities for training. The building includes a fitness area, K-9 unit, and a 911 dispatch center that doubles as a storm shelter. Moorhead Police Chief Derek Blevins says the new facility was much needed.
Our building was flooded, so we had offices and everything downstairs in our basement. We had to move all of those upstairs, so now we're just on top of each other.
Governor Beshear also announced more than $87,000 for the resurfacing of a portion of Williams Branch Road and awarded $100,000 to Moorhead Rowan County Tourism to bolster the county's tourism industry. The Hazard Perry County Chamber of Commerce is holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony right now for newly renovated business space on Main Street. 486 Main Street was purchased last year in an effort to bring businesses and more office space downtown. It's now home to Hazard Coffee Company, Ready Set Play Toy Store, and the new Economic Development Hub offices. The Hub, as they call it, unites local officials working to improve the area's economy. Downtown Coordinator Bailey Richards says she's excited for the future.
We do have more that we'd love to do and love to see here, but it's nice to kind of have everybody here, everybody that's going to be here and all of that, have both of the businesses downstairs open, all of us using our offices upstairs, having meetings and all kinds of things. So that's really, really nice.
It's a really nice building, and I enjoy getting coffee in there a lot. Richards also says that the building helped serve as a base for their flood response operations. The lineup for next year's Railbird Festival in Lexington has been revealed, and it's a pretty good one. Headlining night one will be Zach Bryan, Weezer, and Sheryl Crow. Eastern Kentuckians Tyler Childers and Ricky Skaggs are just a couple of the featured musicians that will be performing on the second night. The event will take place in the infield of the Red Mile Racetrack on June 3rd and 4th. Pre-sale tickets begin Thursday at noon.
Those tickets are going to be hotter than the weather will likely be on June the 4th. For us, more showers in the forecast tonight, tomorrow, and through the week. Latest breakdown coming up after this.
And a photo of a Boyle County football player with a Corbin player after last week's state title game goes viral for the right reasons.